I tell you, Greensboro is hosting this tournament for the 19th time. How's that for Tournament Town? We spoke to a broadcaster who does all these games. She's a former star at Wake Forest. Her name is LaChina Robinson. She graduated back in 2002. We asked her, are the players better today?
Definitely. The versatility and skill set. Like, I was a post player. I played the 5 position, but I wasn't a great three-point shooter. Now you see players 6'6" that can knock down the three-point shot. And so, you know, the versatility of the game, the speed, how they get up and down the floor.
Robinson says players are also better prepared for today's game and definitely healthier.
A lot of it also has to do with just the growth in the strength and conditioning and nutrition of these athletes is much better. I was probably eating cheeseburgers during my whole time at Wake Forest.
The former player turned broadcaster says social media has helped make the women's game more popular. It says the Greensboro environment for the tournament is ideal.
The ACC Women's Basketball Tournament is at its best when it's here in Greensboro. I mean, the folks here at the Coliseum, you know, in the community, there's just a great awareness. As soon as you come to the city, you're seeing signs about ACC Women's Basketball. So the ACC staff and all of the people in Greensboro, but especially here at the Coliseum, just do a great job of making it feel like a first-class event. And I think every fan that walks through the door is excited, and I think we're going to have a great showing the next few days.
Students from the Guilford County Schools will rock the Coliseum Thursday and Friday. If you've never seen that experience, it is something to behold. Also, beginning tomorrow, FanFest, the giant game room that's here on the grounds of the Coliseum, that opens up as well. In Greensboro, I'm Bill O'Neill, WXII 12 News.
I want to get some breaking news, and this is quite sad. Longtime Jeopardy host Alex Trebek is revealing that he has cancer. In a YouTube video, he revealed he's been diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer just this week. He says the prognosis for this disease is usually not very encouraging, but he says he is going to fight it, and on top of that, he plans to beat it. Well, a city in South Carolina is gearing up for St. Patrick's Day right now by dyeing parts of its fountain green. The 5 Points fountain in Columbia is bright green right now. The community welcomed the season of green at the kickoff to St. Patty's Day. Siri is awfully excited about it. The 37th annual festival is going to be held on March 16th, and the fountain will stay green in the days leading up to it.
She said she could help me find a hospital. Hopefully that won't be necessary at a St. Patrick's Day celebration.
Be careful out there. Pace yourself. Yeah, a little bit of green out there today in that it wasn't pouring down rain. For like the second day in a row, we'll take it.
Absolutely.
Starting to streak.
Blue sky, nice to see, right? Dry conditions out there. That's good. Of course, all the rain we have had is making the lawns really green, right? And muddy, brown too. That's the sky there in Yadkinville. Gorgeous, right? Well, we're going to see some clouds rolling in, and yes, they will bring back some wet weather, but we've still got a little bit of time. It's 43 degrees right now in Yadkinville with a west-northwest wind at 5 miles an hour. We'd like to have some spring-like temps, right? Well, one thing is for sure, this weekend we will spring forward as daylight saving time begins Sunday at 2 a.m. Sunrise will be earlier in the day. Now take a look at a chilly winter wind and a hard freeze in our forecast. So it's still officially winter as spring doesn't begin until the 20th. Clouds are back in the picture tomorrow. Wintry mix early on Friday and rain moving in late. We're going to talk about Friday in just a second. The high this afternoon, cold, 42 degrees. We should be in the upper 50s this time of year. And of course, the wind did not help at all out of the west and northwest at 10 to 15 miles an hour. So temperatures right now are showing the low 40s from Burlington to Lexington, Winston-Salem, closer to 30 degrees in Galax. And then when you factor in that wind chill values are in the low 20s in the mountains and in the mid 30s across the Triad. Tomorrow morning, expecting a hard freeze with temperatures that are down in the low 20s for the foothills and the Triad. Wind chill values, although not as low as this morning, will be down into the single digits in the mountains as we bottom out at 18 tomorrow morning. You can see the concern to the south. Freeze warning still in effect for folks over South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, as they are well into the growing season. We have got a quiet weather pattern in the short term. We've got more sun early tomorrow. Clouds building as we go through the day. 49 is our high tomorrow afternoon. It's still about 10 degrees below average, but not quite as cold as it was out there today. A lighter wind out of the west and southwest tomorrow. Morning sun followed by some clouds with a high of 48 tomorrow. And then for the mountains, we're looking at temperatures that are up close to 40 degrees with the west wind out there. Tomorrow night into Friday morning, we could see a little bit of moisture moving in, and it may be cold enough, especially in the mountains and perhaps the northern foothills, that we could have a brief light wintry mix before we see a transition to a cold rain during the day on Friday. With this, there's the possibility that we could have slick spots on elevated surfaces in our mountain communities with mainly wet conditions across the Triad. That transition to a chilly rain, though, as we warm, so to speak, into the 40s. Still going to be a pretty lousy day on Friday. This shows you your hour-by-hour forecast. Takes you into tomorrow. You can see some of the clouds ahead of a dry front that's coming in. Then by Friday morning, starting to see the clouds a little thicker. Some of that precipitation heads our way. And then by Friday afternoon, seeing at least a little bit of snow popping up there on our future radar. Then if we extend that out and push into the weekend, we've got that cold rain on Friday, drier conditions on Saturday with a chance of rain by late day. Notice the temperatures are coming up, and then it's definitely warmer by Sunday as we'll see temperatures soaring into the upper 60s. But right now it looks like Sunday is a wet day. So if you've got some plans for this weekend, right now Saturday does look drier. The temperatures are definitely trending in the right direction.
All right, we can deal with that. Thank you, Lainey. Let's take a live look right now. I-40 westbound Peters Creek Parkway in Winston-Salem. The Department of Transportation is showing quite a bit of congestion in this area, as is the traffic camera. But no crashes being reported. Just a lot of folks trying to get where they're going in both directions, frankly, westbound and eastbound, all gummed up at this hour.
Catching a heart problem before your doctor. How one woman's love of technology helped diagnose the issue. You can say technology is helping all of us lead a healthier life. It's especially true, though, for a woman in North Texas.
Yeah, her smartwatch caught a potentially serious heart condition. 75-year-old Liz Turner loves Zumba, and she's also quite a tech junkie, so she uses her smartwatch to keep track of her heart rate. But during a recent workout, she felt like something just wasn't exactly right.
I felt my heart coming out of my chest. It felt like it was just racing. It would have blown out of my chest if I'd gone any further.
I think the prevalence is just really growing, and now that we're recognizing it more too, I think we're capturing things that we didn't know of before.
Doctors say Liz has AFib, which is an irregular heartbeat. It's the leading cause of blood clots and stroke if it's not caught early.
North Korea could be working to rebuild a rocket testing site. I'm Matt Pritchard in Washington with the satellite images that are causing concern.
And we've got change on the way as we head toward the weekend. I'll help you plan for what could be a wet weekend across the area.
From WXII 12 News, this is breaking news.
Breaking news at this hour, artist R. Kelly is back in custody in Chicago, but this has nothing to do with the sex abuse charges he's facing.
For this situation, officials say they're not going to release him until he pays more than $160,000 in back child support he owes. It comes hours after he strongly denied sexual abuse charges during an interview with CBS's News' Gayle King. In February, the singer was charged in Chicago with 10 counts of felony aggravated sexual abuse, including 3 victims who were underage at the time. Kelly spent the weekend in jail before someone posted $100,000 for his bond.
More breaking news on this busy Wednesday. Longtime Jeopardy host Alex Trebek is revealing he has cancer. In a YouTube video, he says he's been diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer just this week. He says typically the prognosis for this type of diagnosis is not very encouraging, but he is vowing to fight it and plans to beat it and keep working.
Happening now, Greensboro police are working a homicide case. Someone shot a woman inside of her car while 2 children were inside to witness it. Police say witnesses saw a man try to block that woman in with his car after what may have been a minor crash. Then he pulled out what's described as a rifle. Police say the shooter killed 26-year-old Carolyn Tiger, but did not hurt the kids. This all happened near South Elm Eugene Street Sunday afternoon. Police say the shooting was a random act of violence.
Also happening now, a Lexington family is mourning the loss of a 6-month-old baby boy. Police in Salisbury say a dog attacked that child and killed it. This happened at his babysitter's house. She reportedly, according to police, went out to clean her car to prepare to bring the baby home when she heard her own mother screaming. The babysitter ran inside and found her boxer pit bull mix attacking 6-month-old Jakari Long. Animal Control now has custody of that dog. So far tonight, no charges have been filed.
Some satellite images are calling North Korea into question tonight. These images taken from above seem to show a long-range rocket launch site being repaired.
This was dismantled back in 2018 as part of a disarmament agreement with the United States. Let's go to Matt Pritchard tonight. He is live in Washington. Matt, what is the reaction to this news?
Well, Kenny and Brianna, experts say that this is a cause for concern, fearing that ultimately this will be a sign that North Korea still won't take those final steps to denuclearize. Satellite photos over North Korea are attracting attention as a dismantled long-range rocket launch site appears to be on the mend.
I would be very disappointed if that were happening. It's a very early report. We're the ones that put it out. But I would be very, very disappointed in Chairman Kim.
In the pictures released by think tank Center for Strategic and International Studies, buildings appear to be popping up, with doors and roofs visible, and cranes sitting on site as well.
Are they concerning? To a degree.
But Professor Garrett Martin isn't panicking just yet. Instead, he sees a series of counter moves from the North Koreans.
I think it could signal, or it could be a sign from the North Koreans that they are not confident anymore in the talks.
Adding, with last week's summit collapse in Vietnam, Kim Jong-un could be sending a message that the time for compromise is running out.
They possibly are trying to signal again that they have this capability and that they are not going to wait forever for changes and a breakthrough.
Still, Professor Martin says any kind of rocket rebuilding is reason to sit up and take notice, and that's why the U.S. needs to keep a watchful eye on the North moving forward.
That surveillance, I think, is fundamental in order to in the future, verify if they're actually abiding by their promises.
Now, reports show that rebuilding at the site started between February 16th and March 2nd, meaning that these efforts could have been going well before the second summit took place. Guys?
And Matt, there's been a lot of North Korea-U.S. talk back and forth in the news for the last few years now. Can you remind us what steps have been taken to ease tensions between these two countries recently?
Well, of course, in 2018, North Korea stopped doing any sort of testing with nuclear or missile-type weapons. They also closed down their nuclear testing facility. And in return, the U.S. dialed back military exercises with South Korea to show sort of a good faith negotiation and that they want to move towards those denuclearization talks. Guys?
And Matt, at this point, do we have any more clarification around why talks broke down at the end of the second summit in Vietnam last week?
Well, we know that the disagreement centered around sanctions, how much should be lifted or should not be lifted. Of course, North Korea believes that those sanctions should be taken off of them so their economy can grow, but the U.S. wants to hold that back until they're sure that denuclearization can move forward. So that's really where the main point of disagreement was, but both sides have said they want to keep the door open for talks going forward.
All right, Matt, thanks so much for that information. North Korea and the Central Intelligence Agency have yet to comment on these new pictures.
Tonight, a dangerous country dealing with a devastating humanitarian crisis is in the news. Cynthia McFadden with NBC News goes inside the Central African Republic to tell the stories of children living in peril and the people risking their lives every single day as they try to make a difference.
We have this line of vehicles here. 2 of them are armored. We are going with blue helmets, guys with the guns. Except for a war zone, this is as dangerous as the assignment gets.
Yes. You know, this is just the reality of life here.
The factions don't attack each other. They attack citizens, civilians. Families are afraid to go out of their homes. They're afraid to send a child to school.
The nickname is the Death Triangle. That's how security described it to us.
We are going with security, and yet we're still supposed to check in every 20 minutes.
Every 20 minutes, and we will.
This NBC News special investigative report airs tonight on NBC Nightly News at 6:30, immediately following WXII 12 News at 6.
A North Carolina man will likely die in prison. Robin Applewhite was sentenced to at least 230 years behind bars for coercing women into prostitution. He also has to pay them over $600,000 in unpaid wages. Applewhite was convicted of human trafficking, among other charges. His wife is also set to be sentenced in this case.
Police out in Siler City say a worker was stabbed on break at the very same Walmart where razor blades were found under the handles of shopping carts. Investigators say the woman in this case was in her car smoking a cigarette when she says 2 men started stabbing her. This attack was captured on surveillance video. People living and working nearby say all of this has them on edge, to say the least.
Like that doesn't really ever happen in Siler City. I've lived here for almost 30 years and haven't really experienced anything, so I didn't really know what to think.
Right now, that worker is hospitalized, said to be in serious condition, and police are still looking for suspects.
Back in the Triad, here's a live look at traffic on Highway 29 near Market Street in Greensboro. It looks good out there. These drivers aren't dealing with any issues.
It gets very hard. It's very hard saying goodbye to these dogs.
A little boy falling in love with the pets he has rescued, and that is pets with a plural. How many hundreds he's been able to save already.
When you think about a boy and his dog, you know that love knows no bounds.
Yeah, one young boy is sharing that love with more than just a couple of doggies. He has helped to save 1,500. Here's Alexa Lytle.
I love these little guys.
Saying goodbye isn't always easy for 7-year-old Roman McCon.
It gets very hard. It's very hard saying goodbye to these dogs.
This time he's fallen in love with 2 dogs named Thelma and Louise and their puppies.
This was our first mama and puppy on transport.
He's going to miss them, but even though goodbyes are hard, they can be rewarding.
I feel great knowing they're going to a better home.
Roman and his mom started Project Freedom Ride to get these dogs out of shelters and into new homes. Today they loaded up 2 vans full of dogs in need of a permanent home.
This is a big break. These dogs get to go and find families and free up space for the dogs that are here.
They're going to shelters up north where they don't kill for space and have a better chance of being adopted.
It helps the shelters because I know they don't want to euthanize. So transports help the shelters get their dogs out. Hi, little guy.
Today, Roman saved 39 dogs.
I want these dogs to find a brilliant home. A home that they'll love forever. Cooper, Bounty.
And another transport may be on its way, but Roman isn't done.
Even if your house is full, why put a stop there? If you have 25,000 dogs, adopt 26,000.
Some good reasoning skills there. Quite an impressive young man.
Big heart, too. Next, honoring the lives and legacies of fallen officers. Hear from a local family who is now giving old wood new life.
Was on.
And 12 Inspires, a father from Alamance County, is teaching his sons about new beginnings.
It's a way to honor people who are first responders now and also the ones who left us far too soon. Meredith Stutz has this one.
In this workshop, tucked away in a backyard in Graham,
Ooh, I like that.
unfolds a renaissance of respect.
Watching something come together from nothing.
Gordon Madden picks up an old piece of wood that's ready for a new life. After he gets off work at the sawmill, you can hear him and find him with his sons at work, maybe clamping a piece of wood or two.
Clamp here, Jackson, and Daniel clamp that side, and then lay the clamp flat.
Yeah, I'd say it's brought us a whole lot closer. Probably closer than you probably see some kids with their dads.
Gordon, Daniel, and Jackson forging a bond refined after an unexpected loss.
We lost Greensboro police officer Jared Franks.
Jared died in November trying to find a robbery suspect's car. Jared crashed his cruiser into another and then into a house. He was 24 years old.
Be your best friend in about 5 minutes, if it took that long.
Gordon says their families are longtime friends. Their boys grew up together.
And I think when we heard the news, I think it took a little bit away from me. But he'd want me to keep him in his memory.
During a charity fundraiser, Gordon made this table. It sold for $140, which went to help the Franks family.
And after seeing everybody come together for Officer Franks, then I said, well, let's try to do this bigger and better on a bigger scale.
With their stained and splintered hands as their resumes, they decided to make flags.
This one is the fire department flag with the thin red line. This one here is pine and red oak.
Once a volunteer firefighter, Gordon says profits will go to first responder families in need.
I'm trying to raise 2 young men, and I have to teach them that it's not about who you are or what you can do.